myself for my doorway, and I wanna pass right through it. Ride my one-eyed pony and run across the prairie, and I know that I must go home. Never, never again will I roam. Oh, the men they fall like arrows. I never wanna fall again. Never wanna hit the floor, and I keep on falling. I keep on falling. No, no, no. I never wanna fall again. I never wanna hit the ground and keep on falling.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of the Fiberista Files. Today is Friday, January 23rd, 2015. I'm your host Heather, also known as Boutros Babe on Ravelry and Plurk, and Fiberista Files on Twitter and Instagram. You can find the shop at shop.highlandhandmades.com, and the podcast, if you're not watching on iTunes, is at thefiberistafiles.com. Hi! I hope you guys have all had a great couple of weeks. Ours has really been pretty much our new normal, which is my husband is home working on his physical therapy. I've been in the dye pots. I'm starting to prepare for my next show. If you can see the box that the cat just walked in front of right there, that is a 70-pound box of fiber and yarn, and I just divided up, I don't know, a 20-pound box, I think, today. We're in yarn mode, which is excellent. That box also has this one's club fiber, so that will be getting in the dye pots there tonight or tomorrow, so excellent. I've got a mid-range episode for you this week, so we'll see here at the end if I have time to do a book review or not. I may not do one this week if it runs a little long. I do have a lot to show you as far as dye pots go because we've been busy, so. Real quick week in review, didn't do very much. We went and saw The Battle of Five Armies, which is the last of the Hobbit movies. It was alright. It was definitely, of all of the Lord of the Rings and Hobbit movies, the one I loved the least. It felt like they made Thorin into too unsympathetic of a character. That's my opinion. It was still a great movie, of course. It was still beautiful and well done and respectful to Tolkien's vision, I think. And I'm glad that we saw it and closed it out. I was just a little bummed that I felt like it could have been done a little bit better. But anyway, some point this weekend we're going to go see Into the Woods, which is the Meryl Streep musical that's fairy tale related. I don't know anything about it. We don't watch TV. We don't have TV service. Like, I have a television. It's behind me. You can see it there. But we don't have TV service. So we watch a lot of Netflix and we watch movies, but we don't see commercials. So I don't really actually know anything about it. And I think that might actually be good. I think maybe I don't want to know a whole lot about it. So it can just be surprising. We go to the local theater in Dover, which is about 20 miles away, 25 miles away. They have a high-def screen. It is much higher quality screen than the ones in the big movie theater in Bangor, and the sound quality is fabulous. The seats are older, but they're very comfortable, and it costs $5. And it's a completely local thing. All of the money for the theater makes goes back into the theater. They do plays and things for the community and stuff like that. So we love to go to the movies there. And so we check each week to see what they've got playing. Other than that, we haven't done a whole lot. Monday was January thaw. We only got one day of above freezing temperatures. If you live in an area that doesn't have January thaw, I'm sad for you because January thaw is a gift. Every year in January, there is at least one day of above freezing temperatures. Usually there's a span of like 2 or sometimes 3 days where stuff kind of melts, the sun comes out. It got up to 39 degrees here that day. We did just have the one day, but I went out for a run. The roads were dry, and the driveway's still a mess, but the roads were dry, and I had a clear lane to run. I put on my bright highlighter yellow top, and I went for a run, and it was fabulous. I took the dog with me. He's a little out of shape. He didn't keep up as well as I'd hoped he would. It was just a 2.5 mile run. It wasn't anything major. but it just felt so amazing to get outside. My treadmill faces the back of my refrigerator. There's not a lot to look at, and I'm on a treadmill, which I love that I have the treadmill. Don't get me wrong. I am grateful that I have the treadmill and can use it to run and stay in shape or whatever, but it's not as lovely as running outside. It's just not. So that's pretty much all I've done. That's it. I don't have a very exciting life. Sorry. But I have been busy in the dye pots, and I will talk to you all about that shortly. So knitting. I have been knitting on 2 things, and I'm really sad because one of them is in a super awesome bag that my husband made me, but I can't show it on the podcast yet because he made another one and is gifting it. So until that person gets theirs, I can't talk about it. But I can talk about this one. This is the Bling Your String bag. Erin, I can never remember the name of your business. I just think of Erin's bags, which is the Cards Against Humanity specialty fabric that she made for Katie and I. And this is my herringbone cowl. And you can see that I have gained some on this cowl. Here it is. You can see it goes, I'm into the chartreuse colors. So I've gone through the chocolate, the rust, the gold, the mint, which was my least favorite color. And now I'm into this chartreuse. And there is the rest of the chartreuse, which is not a lot, and the forest green left to do. I've been pretty monogamous to this until the next project that I'm going to show you here in a second. Not because I love it, but because I'm trying to get it done. Like, herringbone stitch looks awesome, but it is not very much fun to knit. At least in my opinion. You may have a different opinion. Try it. See how you like it. It's tiring to me. So this is in the back. That is knit on US 10.5s. Out of my hand spun, it was a loop bullseye bat. This is, of course, I don't have the label. The label's over there. It's White Birch Fiber Arts, which you may have heard of from other podcasters. This is a self-striping skein of yarn and is an 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon base. It's like a little wet gems base, I think. This is the diamond back colorway. You can see White Birch does gradient stripes. So it's basically sort of a gold tan and a black gray. And I've just started this. This is a sock. It will be for my husband. He wanted kind of a crazy sock, and he has a Ravelry account, so he spent several days looking, and he wanted the Raptor sock, and he wanted the Skew sock, and he wanted... The Raptor sock was going to be too complicated. And I cast on the longitudinal sock, which is a similar sort of different construction. It's knit lengthways down the foot. Because that's what he thought he wanted. But the stripes on that sock are on this skein of yarn are too short of a repeat to look good when you're going down the length of the sock. Plus, you're knitting in garter, changing colors all the time, so there's a lot of weird bumps and stuff, and I knew he wasn't going to like it. But you have to show it to him. So I knit maybe 3 or 4 rows and showed it to him, and he was like, yeah, no. So I was like, fine. So these are going to be Clown in My Closet socks, which are socks that I've knit before. I hesitate to use the words I designed it. It's stockinette sock, but there are 3 rows or columns of slip stitches on the outsides of the foot just to break it up a little bit. And that starts after the toe. So I'm still on the toe. So once I get past the toe, I can start slipping those stitches. So that'll be fun. We got that at Stitches East. That's really all I've knit. I did do a little bit of spinning. I applied the Oxford fiber, which I told you about a while ago. I didn't really enjoy spinning. This is like 92 yards, I think. It's a 2-ply. I wound it into a center pull ball, and I can put autofocus on there. I wound it into a center pull ball and plied both ends. I haven't soaked it yet. It's pretty soft. It's not scratchy. It's a little on the spongy side like Southdown is, and not quite as soft like as merino. It's totally a usable yarn. I did not enjoy spinning it because of the very tight corkscrew crimp in it, and the bits that sort of, the tips almost like came off. Like it was very sort of pilly for no discernible reason that I could tell. The only other thing that I've been spinning is that Polworth mohair silk that is Highland Handmades fiber that I'm spinning for a friend because she bought it and didn't realize that it was fiber, not yarn. She's very new. So I'm spinning that for her. I've spun 3 of the 4 ounces. I have 1 ounce left, and then I'll apply them. So there's that. So let's get into dye pots, shall we? Because holy crap, do I have a lot in the dye pots for you. This first one is a fiber that I just bought a pound of to sort of play around with and look at. This is an 80-20 blend of black alpaca and Tussa silk. Not sure how well you can see that, but it is gorgeous. This soot gray with a ton of sheen. Can you see that sheen? It feels fabulous. Drafts like butter. I did not dye it. I have not touched it other than to divide it up into braids. I really love this stuff. It is absolutely, feels amazing. You've got to try it. I think that would be an incredibly enjoyable spin. The other thing that I dealt with and didn't dye is this. I have 5 of these bats going into the shop. I don't know how well you're going to be able to see the color. This is 75-gram bat of the most delicious chocolate brown 100% alpaca you've ever seen in your life. It is gorgeous and so soft and squishy, like you can't even, like, my drum carder is designed to do 100-gram bats, and these bats I could not get more than 75 grams on because they're just so fluffy. This alpaca fiber is 100% Maine grown and processed. I hand processed this myself. Washed it myself, dried it, picked it, which is using a picker. You open up the fibers so that they're not compact from the cleaning process, and then put it onto a drum carded it. Each bat has been drum carded twice. It did the first pull through, and then I divide it into many sections and send it through the drum carder again, so it's a more even bat. No color. It's a nice chocolate brown. I hope to be able to get really clear pictures of that tomorrow. But I love it. And like I said, I've got 5 of these. I also have one that is 2/3 brown merino and 1/3 alpaca as well. I was just trying to use up the rest of the alpaca. I didn't bring that with me to show you, but it looks almost identical. Okay, and then I got into the dyed fiber. I have a little bit more of the Polworth mohair silk. This is called Berries and Whipped Cream. It is a deep wine red, a medium blue, and some undyed areas in between them. This one is called Lips Dripping Poison. I don't know where these names come from. So this is Lips Dripping Poison. This is actually one red that had broken into several shades and then was over dyed with an almost black in places. This one is called Bring Me That Horizon. It is yellows and aqua. This one is called Gathering Moss. You've heard the Rolling Stone gathers no moss. Well, this is sort of stony and mossy, so I called it Gathering Moss. I love the color. You'll see that again in a little bit. And then this one is called Eagle in a Thermal. It is a mustard, goldish color, and silver, and undyed. The line for this one, I know where this one was named. It was because I was listening to Katie's most recent podcast, and her song starts out something, something, something in Shepherdstown. An eagle in a thermal is a circling round like a tire on a bike rolling down Columbus Street. Every time I hear it, I smile, and I was listening to it as I was writing the names, and so eagle in a thermal got slapped on there. Katie's not a huge fan of yellow, but it just was there, so I used it. Okay, so then that's the fiber. Now, I do have a lot of white maple sock. This is the rest of the white maple sock that I have right now. I had ordered a little bit more during the club last year than I needed, so I was trying to get through those cones, and they are officially empty. So I will be ordering more, but that won't probably be until early March once this show is all done, because any of these that don't sell will be going with me to the show. So, all right, so this one is called Candied Lemons. It is not quite, it's more that yellow. It's not quite so uber yellow, more like that. And these that I have to show you are all the reskeined versions. We'll have them in the shop, both the reskeined and the unreskeined, so that you can see how long the color runs are, as well as what they all look like mixed up together. This is an oldie but a goodie, Morning Mist. Green, blue, blue-gray, charcoal gray, and sort of a sand color. Another classic, One Step Closer. It is orange, brick red, teal, blue, all sorts of goodness. I love the way that one looks reskeined. Let's see. Urchin you've seen before. These are all, by the way, my white maple sock, which is 100% superwash merino. It is a 2-ply yarn with a very tight twist, very similar to a Louette Gems base, and it is 100% American wool. You can see how it looks. This stuff wears really, really well because it is so tightly twisted. So Urchin is done in this sort of floxy purple and medium green, and they're dip dyed, so there's all this white is in between the two shades. What else do we have that we have seen before? Underpass artwork, which is spot dyed on one side with pink, orange, and yellow, and on the other side with blue, green, and purple. And I keep the yarn very stationary, and I do not saturate the skein so that they do not muddy. So there's a lot of undyed in this skein so that you can keep the colors separate from each other. What else do we have? I think that's it for the ones that, oh no, there's one more that I've had before, and I think you'll recognize it when you see it. Although you may not recognize it reskeined. This is Fruju. Whoa! I love the way this looks reskeined. I don't know why I never reskeined any of the other ones from the giant custom order we did for Wendy, but I will have 3 skeins of Fruju in the shop update. This I think is going to go fast. Several people have said they really like it, so be aware of that. Now, I won't have that on white maple sock again until at least March, so although I may do it on sugar maple, we'll see how that goes. Okay, new ones. Continuing with some semi-solids. This one is called Bittersweet. It's a chocolate brown, and the brown breaks in places to have some rusty reds and darker cinnamon tones to it. And there are, of course, some lighter areas as well. This is the reskeined version. Bittersweet. It's a great colorway for men's socks or hats or whatnot. This is called Low Tide. This is one dye, but the dye breaks into both green and gray, which makes me look really clever because they look awesome together, but it's one dye. I don't do that. I just stick it in the pan and it does it itself. But I love the way that looked. I'm losing my sun rapidly here, so I'm trying to hurry. This is called Sunstruck, which I've done on Superwash BFL, but haven't done on yarn before. Yellow orange and orangey red. And I blended the color changes as best I could on these so that they wouldn't have a dramatic color shift, but they would all sort of blend into the next color. I don't know how successful I was with that, but I did try. Blue Bay, which is a semi-solid blue. It's pretty bright blue. That's about accurate. This is One Runs Colors. It's very similar to uncapped highlighters, except that there's silver in there. One Runs Colors. So it's pink and blue and gray, sort of a semi-solid gray, which has some undyed areas in it. It comes from this shirt, which you can't see. It says Worry Less, Run More. It was purchased at a color run that I did this summer. So that's where those colorways came from. This is called Reed's Romance. This is a mostly pink skein that has some red in it. You can see. And there are some lighter areas of pink as well because it's semi-solid with the pop of red. That's accurate color-wise. If you have not read any of Penny Reed's romance novels, Penny Reed, R-E-I-D, her books on Amazon, you really need to. Neanderthal seeks human, Neanderthal marries human, love hacked, friends without benefits. What else has she finished? I feel like there's more than that. I've read more than that, but I work for her, so maybe that's why. They're fabulous. Oh, duh, Beauty and the Mustache. Did I say that one? That's her most recent one. Ooh, sorry, Penny. You should read them because they're fabulous. This one is called Maine Traditions. Now, Maine Traditions is orange and blue and brown. The orange and blue, if you are from Maine or you've lived in Maine any length of time, you'll know is the color from the can of Moxie. Moxie is Maine's soda. It's licorice flavored. And I gotta tell you, it is the most disgusting soda you've ever had in your entire life. My husband thinks it's not bad. He's wrong. It's terrible. It's so terrible that when I got my first tattoo, the tattoo artist bought me a Moxie and said, drink this because it's so disgusting you won't be worried about what I'm doing. True story. And then the chocolate brown is for a much better treat, which is the whoopie pie, which is Maine's favorite dessert. Who doesn't love a whoopie pie? Nobody, that's it, because whoopie pies are fantastic. Bangor actually has a place called the Whoopie Pie Cafe where you can buy whoopie pies of all these flavors. Dark chocolate, sea salt, caramel, red velvet. Oh my God, they're amazing. I love it there. Okay, 3 more, and then we're done talking about dye pots. This one is called I Will Remember. It is poppy red with a pop of dark brown. So it's supposed to look like poppies. I know that looks orange to you. Said I'm losing my light. Ooh, and my gray through. I purposely put the camera above my head so you wouldn't see the gray because I haven't hennaed him forever. So this is I Will Remember. It is poppy red with bits of brown. It's like it's an almost red. It's a color of a poppy. It's just this side of red on the orangish side, but it's not orange. It's just, hopefully the pictures tomorrow will show it off better. And then these two, this one is Blue Tang, which is named after a fish that we saw in an aquarium when we were in Boston not long ago. Blue, black, and this bright yellow. And then this one, I love this one. It's a challenge for me not to keep this one. It's called Girls Like Football Too. And this is a feminized New England Patriots colorway. So instead of being their traditional dark red, this is actually sort of a corally, rosy pink, almost red. Again, not quite a red. You can see it's kind of pinkish. And then 2 shades of blue. We've got more of a teal blue and then a darker blue in there as well. So it's called Girls Like Football Too. Sort of a spin-off of the Patriots. Not really Patriots, but that's New England's team, so had to do the colors. Those are all going in the shop update. Now, I know you're wondering, Heather, when's the shop update going to be? Because I haven't said it yet. I just wanted you to see them all before I gave you when the update's going to be. The update is going to be tomorrow, Saturday, January 24th at noon Eastern Daylight Time. So go on the calendars on Google and figure out what time of the day that is for you. And all of these will be up in the shop, in addition to the fiber, which I already showed you, and those bats of alpaca-y goodness. I'm sorry, I'm trying to pack everything back in this basket so it doesn't get covered in dog hair. Yes, that update is happening tomorrow at noon. I'm going to start, I think, putting up the descriptions tonight, but it was too dark today. By the time I got everything labeled, it was too dark to take pictures because I have to take pictures in the morning. Otherwise, everything looks blue. All the lights are blue. Everything is blue. So I have to wait for tomorrow morning. So I hope to put those listings up. Pay attention. I will post on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Plurk when the update goes live. So, all right. What else is there to talk about this week? In growth, it is just getting ready for the shows. We were going to try and stay down at Spa, which is in Freeport, Maine. It's in southern Maine. But there are no hotels down there that allow dogs. There's one Econo Lodge, and it only takes dogs up to 50 pounds. So instead of doing that, we're going to stay at my parents' or my grandmother's house, which is next door. That's about 35, 40 minutes, depending on traffic, away from Spa. So it's a little bit of a drive, but it's all interstate. It shouldn't be terrible. And it's going to be free. And my dad will be there to take care of the dog. So that will be awesome. I have not yet done this event, so I don't know a whole lot about it. I don't know much about setup times, what days the vendor markets are. I'm going to be doing some research this week. So next week, hopefully I can tell you when to come see me and where and all that good stuff. If you are in New England, you ought to come to Spot. It's a very high energy, busy, fun show. It's down in a hotel where they've got a restaurant and a bar, so you can have a glass of wine and take your spinning wheel, and it's a really good time. I've gone probably for the last 5 years just as a consumer and really enjoyed it. I always get to see my favorite local vendors. Enchanted Knoll Farm, Mad Color Fiber Arts, Woolen Rabbit, Good Karma Farm. There are dozens. But it's always good to see them, and I'm really glad to be a vendor this year. So that'll be fun. Spunky Eclectic will be there. It'll be good times. So come. That will be the weekend of February 27th through March 1st, I believe. The last weekend of February. Right when you really need to see color the most. Processes this week. We're trying something a little new in my house, which is my husband is trying to help me. Now, he has helped before. He is my shipping manager. He takes most of my packages to the post office. He knows how to package and put tape on and put labels on and all that good stuff. For a long time, he has held the strings that come off the cones of yarn when winding yarn, but he has never been able to tie the knot. My husband is knot deficient. K-N-O-T deficient. He can't tie a knot to save his life. And if he has to tie it with his offhand, like when you're skein yarn, I use the end, the last piece of yarn, to tie a figure 8 knot. So you've got one working end because the other's connected to the rest of the yarn. Now, either hand can hold that end, and I can make a figure 8 knot, no problem. I do it, zip, 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 done. I've done hundreds of thousands of knots at this point. He cannot put the string in his left hand and tie a knot because he gets his wires crossed and he gets completely confused. And I shouldn't laugh. I really shouldn't laugh because God bless him, he tries. But we've had to work around this a little bit to teach him how to tie figure 8 knots. He is getting better. He is doing much better now, and he does not need me to hover over him to say, nope, nope, go the other way, nope, switch, nope. So he's getting there. Once he can tie knots, he's going to be the main skeiner until he goes back to work in March or April, because that slows me down, and I can do so much more. I can dye, I can do 100 other things that isn't skeining if I don't get stuck at the skeiner. Katie comes and does my skeining for me. Alicia has done skeining for me. Paul can do skeining for me. I'm in good shape. It's been good, and he wants to help. He's feeling good enough now that he's ready to sort of, okay, what can I do? What can I do next? How can I help? Which is good because you can see how much yarn I got dyed up this week. That's processes. Train your husband's right, I guess. I don't know. Maybe that wasn't a process at all. Is there something you want to see? If there's something you want to know about, I want to see what I do. I mean, there's some things that are proprietary because I don't want them to go, to just everybody. I am pretty open about my business and how I do what I do, but let me know if there's something you want to know about, because I'll tell you. Guess that just leaves grabby hands, which I don't have anything for you this week. It's only 28 minutes in. This is like the shortest podcast ever. Paul left. He went out to go take some photographs, and he's like, why don't you podcast while I'm gone? And I was like, but I haven't prepared. This is what happens when you don't prepare. A short, filled podcast. I mean, update tomorrow. That's good, right? Maybe. I really don't even have anything for for grabby hands. I want to show you the bag that yarn is in so desperately, but I can't. I gotta wait until next week. So I will show you that once I can. It's not the Firefly bag that you've already seen. It's a different one. He made me another one. The man who told me I could never have any more bags is now making them for me. Just saying. All right, that's what I have this week, I guess, for you guys. Shop updates tomorrow at noon. Be there or be square. I'll see you guys next time. Until next time, happy spinning and knitting, and thanks for tuning in.